What up, what up, what up? It's K.Honesty, and I'm about to do a review of Tyler Perry's Sistas Season 7, Episode 21. So, if you haven't seen the 21st episode of Season 7 of Tyler Perry's Sistas, turn this video off, go watch the episode, and come back and watch this video. And please like the video and subscribe to my channel. I can't stress enough how much that helps in a big, major way by just liking the video and subscribing to my channel. I'm not a public speaker, so I will tend to fumble my words and say and so and like 1,000 times. I may stop to regain my thoughts. I may slow my speaking down to regain my thoughts. It is what it is. I'm definitely going to be reading my notes that I take throughout the show. Anything I say, it's my opinion. It does not reflect anyone or anything associated with the show. Comment below what you would grade this week's episode, what you thought of this week's episode. If I forget anything, if I'm off on anything in particular, let me know in the comments, please, because I take constructive criticism. I take a difference of opinion, all that good stuff. Leave in the comments. I like to grade the episodes before and after my reviews. I'm going to grade this week's episode a B+. It was not a bad episode. I enjoyed this episode. There was a lot of moving parts. We didn't get, like, repetitive dialogue this episode. I feel like we kind of got a little take that from Tyler Perry. I'll get to that once I get to talking about it. But all in all, I'm going to give it a good grade this week. I'm going to give it a B+. I enjoyed this episode. So, last chance, Tyler Perry's Sistas, Season 7, Episode 21. If you have not seen it, turn this video off because I'm about to spoil the entire episode. Okay. So the episode begins where we left off in last week's episode, where Jordan comes to Andy's office unannounced and demands that she tell him what the hell's going on with her and Gary. Andy's like, Jordan, please leave. This scene was good. Like, you could tell that it's still that the love's still there, but you know Andy ain't trying to show it. I was like, shall I say this is the best Andy has ever acted? God damn it. But Jordan's like, he's like continuing to ask Andy, like, what changed? What's going on with you and Gary? Tell me the truth, da-da-da. Andy continues to laugh. She's like, you know, I'm still in love with Gary. I've always been in love with Gary. Everything that's happened between you and your sister is because of me and Gary, da-da-da. So Jordan's like, I know Gary's holding something over your head, and I'm not gonna stop until I find out what. And then he storms out. Fatima comes in there and consoles Andy. Then we cut away to Sabrina's place. Karen calls her to see if she's ready. This is the day of her egg retrieval procedure. And all the girls are going to be meeting up with her there. So Karen calls her. She's like, you know, you ready for this? Sabrina, you know, she expresses her wishes that it was Rich donating his sperm instead of it being Damani. And, you know, Karen's trying to give her some reassurance. Then they end the call, and Damani shows up out of the blue with flowers. Then we get the scene at Karen's salon. Trey comes with the delivery. And, you know, Karen's kind of giving him the cold shoulder. And he like, what's up with that? And this is when Karen confronts him about catching him with that other woman that she saw him with. And Trey's like, you know, me and Pam, we never made an agreement that we were going to be exclusive, this, that, and the third. So Karen's like, so do Pam know that? Because she going around this salon telling everybody that you the one, da-da-da. And Trey's like, for real? So Trey kind of hesitates. And then Karen, she's like, well, look, Pam is falling for you. So if you don't want to be with her for real, then you need to you need to just step off from her. Because we might have our differences right now, but that's still my friend. She's still my girl. Like I said, I'm starting to like Karen again. She done made amends with Fatima. She not being all extra about Zach no more. This is the Karen that we wanted, of course. Then we cut away to Danny talking with her therapist about the whole Tony and his ex-wife situation. She told me something. I need you to talk me off the ledge before I put hands on the armed forces person. Something she said. So we go back to Andy's office, and, you know, Fatima's telling Andy, you know, you don't have to go through with this with Mary and Gary. Like, you don't have to go through with none of this. And Andy's like, I have to. Like, he's trying to destroy Jordan. Like, this, she feels like this is what she deserves after, like, bringing Gary into, what's his name? Jordan and Penelope's lives. But you gotta remember, Gary knew all of them before you knew that he knew them. So it ain't like you brung him around. So Fatima's like, you know what? Don't even worry about it. I'm going to handle it. And then she leaves. And then we get this quick scene where Zach comes back Karen's place to help put the cribs up. And Mama Lisa's there. And she's like, oh, well, what a coincidence. Because Aaron's here doing the same thing. So we go back to the salon. And this time Trey comes back to see Pam. Karen excuses herself from there. And this is when Trey kind of like gets in, tells Pam like Karen is a good friend. Like, you should understand her point of view. Like, you used her bread, her salon for your come up. And then he tells her, you know, she confronted me about seeing me with old girl. And Pam was like, how does she know that? So we see that Pam and Trey did have an understanding. I guess they wasn't exclusive or whatever. But then he says to Pam, you know, after Karen got into my ass, she made me realize that from now on, I only want to kick it with you. He says that to Pam. So I'm like, okay, well, Trey don't seem like he don't seem like the bad guy after all. Because it looks like him and Pam had an understanding that Karen just didn't know about. Of course she wouldn't know about it. Her and Pam not that close. Then he tells Pam, like, you know, you should break Karen off with some of the profits from Roots to Riches. Because, like, that shit, like, I think I said this before in one of my reviews, like, the shit could have went bad for Pam. Like, she could sue your ass for you using her money and her business to launch your own business. That's some type of legal term. I don't know what it's called, but that's some shit that like, if that was a white person, they would have been got Pam ass locked up. So she should be happy that Karen is like a friend. So we cut away back to Sabrina's, and Damani's, you know, he's telling Sabrina, my blood work came back negative, so I'm ready to, I'm free to donate my sperm to you. Sabrina is super grateful. Thanks Damani again. This is when Rich shows up. He's super defensive about Damani being there. He sees the flowers. It's a whole thing. Sabrina apologizes to Damani for Rich's behavior, basically. And Damani leaves, but not before he be like, don't let this suit fool you. And Rich is like, please, please, please try something, brother. Like, they about to have this little altercation, but it doesn't go nowhere. So Damani leaves, and then right after Damani leaves, this nigga Rich leaves. And I'm just like, what the hell was the point of Damani leaving for you to leave right after him? Like, you came in there, you made it seem like you had something that you wanted to say to Sabrina, and then you leave right after Damani. It was just like, what was the point? Then we get this scene between Tamira and Hayden. They going back and forth about, you know, Hayden and Marie situation. And, you know, Hayden, you know, he's still trying to press the issue about Tamira being a cheater as well. He's like, let me see your phone. Of course, Tamira hesitates. She doesn't want to show him his phone. He's like, that's what I thought. And then he leaves. And then right after that, Fatima pops up. She's like, you know, I want answers. And she's like, why was you running out of Hayden's office the other day when you saw Marie? So Tamira's like, well, that's none of your business. So Fatima's like, I know that Hayden is in on this plot that Gary has to take Andy and Jordan down. What's his deal or whatever? And Tamira's like, I don't know what you're talking about. She's like, Hayden don't got nothing to do with what Gary got going on. She's like, and she basically hints at the fact that she's fucking Gary. And Fatima, of course, catches that. And she's like, thank you. You gave me all the information I needed, basically. So I'm thinking, okay, Fatima going to go to Gary and not Gary, but I'm thinking she's going to tell Hayden, oh, you know your girl fucking Gary, but she doesn't. And I also thought she was going to bring that shit up to Gary when she saw him, but no. So then Danny, nobody's buying Andy's bullshit, so Danny stops by Andy's job, you know, to get in her ass more. She's just like, I'm not buying this shit that you marrying Gary. I don't even understand it. You know, Andy's still doubling down. You guys are just kind of deal with it, da-da-da-da. It's just like, if Danny ain't buying your bullshit, you knew Fatima wasn't buying that bullshit. I don't know why Karen and Sabrina are so gullible to it. I mean, I don't think nobody's buying it, but at the same time, they just sitting in it. They can't tell Andy what to do. She's a grown-ass, dumb woman. So then Jordan, he goes to Gary's office to confront him about Andy. And he's like, I know you got something on Andy. And Gary's like, no, she's just going to be my wife and this, that, and the third. He tells Jordan, I wish you would do something. We got to replace Jordan. I'm sorry. Nice guy and all, but no. The other Jordan was more believable. This Jordan is just not, I'm not buying it from him. I'm sorry. The tough guy, I'm just not buying it. So then Jordan, he goes to Rich's little smoothie spot. God damn. And, they start talking about their girl problems. Jordan's like, my girl's about to marry a demon, basically. And Rich is telling Jordan about Sabrina and Damani, the whole Sabrina and Damani thing. Tony comes in, starts explaining his issues with his ex-wife and Danny. They all just like, we just in terrible situations right now. So then, we get to the doctor's office. Maurice is the first to arrive. He's sitting there with Sabrina. Then Damani shows up. And then this little part happens where Maurice brings up co-parenting. And Sabrina's like, oh, we're not going to be co-parenting. He won't be in the child's life. He's just donating his sperm. And Damani was like, yeah. But you could kind of see in his face that he was not feeling what Sabrina was saying. Like, even though she was saying, we're not going to be co-parent. We're not going to be doing this. We're not going to be doing that. God damn, motorcycle. Anyway. You could kind of see on Damani's face that he's like, yeah, he's nodding his head and saying yes. But in his head, he's like, no, I want to be in this child's life. I want to be with you, low-key. You know? So, Andy and Danny are about to leave Andy's office. Hayden tries to stop them. He's like, we got a meeting with Marie. And Andy's like, I know, I set the meeting. And she's like, you ain't going to get nowhere fucking her. I hope you know that. She's talking about, you ain't going to beat Eddie Murphy from Boomerang. I said Boomerang. Anyway, let me see. Okay. So this is when we get this scene where Fatima confronts Gary outside of his office. And she's like, she says something. And then Gary's like, and you're not going to get away with it. And he's like, oh my God, can you come up with some different dialogue? And I feel like that was a kind of like a moment that Tyler Perry wanted us to realize as viewers. Because, we always talking about his repetitive dialogue and his shows and whatnot. So I felt like in that moment where Gary was like, oh my God, like saying what Fatima was about to say and then we like find some new dialogue. I feel like that was Tyler Perry's like little jab at the viewers. Like, look, y'all always saying this, take that type shit. That's what I felt me watching. I was like, oh, okay. Still though, shit still be repetitive. I don't care. But anyway, it gets to a point where Gary has his detail come over and rough Fatima up. He pushes her to the ground, takes her purse, and then throws it back at her. And I'm like, oh, shit. Shouldn't have did that. I mean, at the same time, Fatima do be coming at niggas like she... I mean, we know who your family is, but you can't be just coming at niggas by yourself unless you... Pull the blicky out first, at least. Don't just set yourself up like that. But as soon as he pushed her ass down, I said, okay, it's about to be up from there. So, the girls finally arrive at the doctor's office. They're introducing themselves to Damani. The jokes are being thrown between Danny and Maurice about the sperm donor and whatnot. I think Danny called Damani a dick donor. I don't know. Oh, excuse me. Andy steps away to take a call, which is from Gary. And Gary's like, you can send your people. You send Jordan, Fatima. You can send whoever you want. Still not going to work. Try that again. Jordan gonna be in Lake Anna or something. That lake that be supposedly killing people, Lake Lanier, something like that. Basically just threatening Jordan's life again. So then we get the scene back at Karen's. Aaron's almost done putting his crib together. Zach still has trouble. And Mama Lisa's telling them, like, look, it's going to be some things y'all going to have to learn when these twins come that Aaron going to be able to do and Zach can't do. And Zach will be able to do that Aaron ain't going to be able to do. So she basically talking some sense to them. Basically, like, letting them know this is some stuff you're going to have to look forward to when you raising these twins. Even regardless of y'all them being different, having different father, y'all being the father of one. There's a lot of shit y'all going to have to learn. She said a whole bunch of shit. It was some real wisdom in there. I was listening to her and I was like, yeah, so she spoke some facts, but I don't remember everything she said. So we cut away back to the guys at Rich's smoothie spot, and Tony just basically talking some sense into Rich. He's like, "You sure you don't want kids? Because all Sabrina's asking for is to be a mother, is to have kids." And Rich like, I came from a big family. It's claustrophobic, and Tony's like, "Well, you about to lose your woman because of something that you seem like you're not too sure about." So Rich is like, "All right, well, y'all hold down the smoothie spot. I need to go get my girl." And I just like, I don't know how I feel about that. I'm going to get to that. So, back in the doctor's office, Sabrina gets called to the back. She asks Damani to join her instead of any of the girls or Maurice. We cut away to Fatima finally calling Madam. I thought she was going to call Madam as soon as the baby shower was over. But she finally calls Madam. So we know we're going to be getting probably a cameo from her soon. I don't know how many more episodes we got before the finale. So, we get this final scene at the doctor's office. Maurice, he asking Andy about Marie. He's like, I seen online that you representing Marie Willis. And he starts social media diving. And he's like, who's her recent husband? And Maurice is like, oh, I recognize her recent husband. He was one of my biggest clients when I was doing my little fixation page online. So I'm like, oh, okay. So Andy about to come with some shit to help Marie's case. So then Rich, he storms in. He's like, is it too late? And the girl's like, yeah, it's too late. Sabrina, she already in the back. So Rich, he rushes in the back and he's telling the doctor, that's my girl. And if anybody gonna give her sperm, it's gonna be me, not this nigga, Damani. And Damani just right there like, this guy. Sabrina looked like she was kind of turned on. She was like, she looked like that girl on the 5 Heartbeats when Eddie got to get not Eddie, what's his name? David. When David Ruffin came down there, he was like, oh, and she was like, I know y'all don't remember that scene on the 5 Heartbeats where she was like, but that's how Sabrina, she looked turned on by Rich. So that's how the episode ended. But like I said, this episode was good because it's a lot of moving parts now. It's kind of looking like, and from the preview for next episode, it's kind of going to look like who killed Gary or who took Gary out. Because it's a lot of people that it could be. Because we see Fatima telling Zach that things got physical with her and Gary. So it could be Zach going to take him down. We seen her call Madam. It could be Madam. We see Hayden find out that Hayden finally gets Tamira's phone and finds out that she been fucking Gary. So it could be Hayden. It's a lot of motherfuckers coming for Hayden. I mean, for Gary. Could Hayden win everybody's good graces by killing Gary? Who knows? But I'm glad that he did find out through her phone rather than Fatima, because him and Fatima got this hate relationship. So he probably wouldn't have believed it coming from Fatima. So I'm kind of glad she didn't go to Hayden with the information. Surprised she didn't say anything to Gary. He probably wouldn't have cared, but like I have said in my Shy reviews, I reviewed the Shy, and I was like, if you get rid of the villain, what is the show going to be? But at least on the Shy, we replaced one villain with another. We killed Duda off. Oh, I'm sorry. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen the Shy. We killed off Duda, and we replaced him with Alicia, who I still don't think is a better villain. I was so super upset when they killed Duda off. I'm sorry. But like they leading us up to a whodunit, like because this Jones made like soap opera. That's why it's so slow. So they leading us up to like who killed Gary. But if you kill off Gary, who's gonna be the villain? I mean, I get it. I know everybody wants Gary killed, rightfully so. But if we kill off Gary, who's gonna be the villain? What's the story gonna be after that? It's gonna be kind of lackluster. I don't know. It's gonna be weird. I mean, if they have somebody that's going to come in and be wild like Gary, then by all means, kill off Gary. But if not, I don't really know where we're going to go from there. But this was a good episode. I mean, it was a lot of stuff going on. The next episode looked like it's going to be good. I don't know how many, like I said, I don't know how many episodes we got to the finale, but it's just looking like it's going to be a whole lot of people coming after Gary, and we just going to have to try to figure out who it is. But all in all, this was a good episode. Like I said in the beginning, I would still grade it a B+. It was a good episode. And yeah, comment below what y'all would grade this week's episode, what you thought of the episode. If I forgot anything or if I was off on anything, let me know in the comments. I take constructive criticism. I take difference of opinion. All that stuff, leave in the comments, please. Like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe. Help me get to over 300 subscribers. It's not even a lot, but it'd be a lot for me. It would help my channel. Ooh, excuse me. I keep burping. But yeah, liking and subscribing, simple and free. Simple and free. I can't repeat that enough. Simple and free way to support my channel. So again, comment below, like and subscribe. I will see y'all in the next review. Peace.